So on that, I'm going to ask you on that actually. How do you see that game? You see a shock this weekend. You did
Good
message
day,
me
mate.
this earlier. Do you see a shock? Do you see Tottenham getting something at the Etihad of all places?
Spurs fans, it's time to put our differences aside. You get me? It's time to come together to beat the bigger enemy. I feel it in my veins. Oh, when the Spurs go marching in. I can't wait. I think Spurs are going to get something. Spurs are City's bogey team. And you know, this is the one time I'll back Ainge. And I'll actually back Ainge's style this Sunday at the Etihad. I just need him to not be as aggressive with it. I'll explain in a second. If Spurs go to Tottenham Hotspur and if Spurs, go to away to City and they park the bus, they're going to get pumped. If Spurs park the bus against Manchester City, Emerson Royal and Ben Davies and whoever the fuck they got at the back will get bullied by Erling Haaland. This is the one game where I actually agree with Ange Postecoglou's approach, which is try doing something. Now, if they press Manchester City and win the ball in dangerous positions, all we need is for Son to be number one onside, because he was offside against Aston Villa fucking 17 times. First of all, let me also, because I'm not shameless like the Spurs fans. Spurs fans are by far the worst. You give them a little bit of success. No, actually, I take that back. Man United fans are the worst. Second worst is Spurs. But anyway, they're really bad because you give them a little bit and you give them an inch and they take a mile, essentially. So against Aston Villa, I'm going to be completely honest, Ange Postecoglou coached a 7-0. Like, he really did. Like, I don't think you could blame Ainge for Aston Villa because it's just they kept missing chances and everyone was offside and shit. That ain't Ainge's fault. Now, against Manchester City, the players need to execute the Ainge game plan properly. They need to execute it 100%. And if they execute it properly and they win the ball in dangerous positions, all we need is for Son to be onside and for him to be clinical, and they have a chance. Manchester City are not as unstoppable as people make out. They're really not as unstoppable as people make out. You are 2-0 up, 2-0 down, to fucking Leipzig. You were 2-0 down. So I think Spurs are capable of getting something. Now, I'm not going to come up here and say Spurs are going to win away at the Etihad, but I will say they can get a draw. And I'm actually going for another high-scoring game. By the way, if you notice with Manchester City, other than the Liverpool game, because we stifled them and we caused our own downfall, they've low-key been conceding a lot of goals. 2 against Leipzig, 4 against Chelsea. Like, they've been conceding recently. I think this game is going to end in a 3-3 draw, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because of Ainge's style. All that it will take for Spurs to get a result has nothing to do with Ainge. It has to do with the players on the football pitch actually executing. And the reason why I say what I say in terms of actually attack them, so many times teams come up against Manchester City, they wait to get punched first and then they react. And then by the time they react, it's too late. With Spurs, this time they should go in there and try punch them in the face first. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So yeah, that's my summary of the game right there.
I understand your point. I mean, Chelsea kind of did that. I know that they were losing 3 times in the game, but they just went at Chelsea. And maybe that approach will kind of shock the players a little bit. But do you not worry that if Spurs are that open against this Man City team, could they not ship 5, 6, 7 goals in this game?
They could, but if they park the bus, they're shipping 5 anyway. So what's the fucking point? Might as well just try. Do you honestly think in a low block, Højbjerg and Dyer and Emerson Royal and whoever the fuck's playing can deal with Haaland in a low block? How many low blocks has Haaland played against this season? How many low blocks have Manchester City played against this season? Anytime Manchester City come up against a team, it's low block, low block, low block, low block. So this is just food and drink for them. Nothing easier than a low block to deal with for Manchester City. So that's actually easy. But if you press their center backs, if you press their fullbacks, if you try win the ball in a dangerous position, if you get in behind them, by the way, like Son usually as well scores at the Etihad. So for me, with Tottenham Hotspur, I think they will get something away at the Etihad. But this is where also at the same time Ainge needs to be a bit more cautious. When it comes to being a bit more cautious, even if you do want to keep a high line, relax on how high it is. Because Haaland's pace and power is too much and you ain't got Van de Ven. So I'm not telling you to drop your principles. I'm just telling you drop the line by 10 yards. That's it. Start your build up 10 yards from behind. I don't think that is that negative, and it just ruins what Ainge is doing. Spurs will get something.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from, and I think the Spurs are going to attack. There is no way they are going to sit back, be defensive. They're going to play a higher line, and I think they'll score against Man City. I do, because they almost score against everybody. I think they may have scored against everybody this season with the way they attack, the way they open in the Premier League anyway, the way they open up. I do get it, but I just think with the amount of injuries they've got, the players that will be in that back line and the team they are up against, this could be one of those games where Ange will still get praised, by the way, for not walking away from his principles. I think this is going to be a beating. I think this is going to be an absolute drumming, an absolute beatdown. If they don't finish, I mean, if they finish their chances, it can be different. But I just got this. This could be lamb to the slaughter. This could be lambs to the slaughter. It really could. And Kate, actually, here, one of our panelists and one of the members of the channel, I hope you're well, Kate, says, I'm a realist. I just cannot see us getting anything at the Etihad. And I can't either. And in fairness, I kind of want Spurs to at least get a draw in this game, because I want this title race to be as close as possible. So a draw is what I would like. A draw is what I would like. But I just can't.
When you say beating, what result are you talking about? Like what? 4, 5?
Everybody will see my score prediction on the Top 6 show tonight when we do golden goals, but it's big. I think Spurs are going to get an absolute trouncing. They're going to get smashed to pieces. They're going to get smashed apart.
Fair enough if you think that, and I understand why you think that, but I just don't think. I don't think that's going to happen. And it's not based on like me wanting Spurs to get the result. I actually think logically, Manchester City haven't been as good as people make out, to be honest with you. And all I'm saying is, realistically speaking, let's all be real about it. If your two center backs are Royal and Davies and you park the bus, you're going to fucking lose. Like Haaland is going to destroy.
I'm not saying you should park the bus. I get you on that. My point is, with the way they play, how open they'll be, giving City that space at the Etihad with the players that will be on the pitch for Tottenham, it's going to be a massacre. It is going to be like
the Emirates. To be fair, they got a draw.
No, but they had all their players. So I thought Arsenal would beat them, but this is different. There's no Mickey van der Ven. Yes, but again, Arsenal should have put that game to bed, but they had all their players available. They have got. Let's just look at it now, right? While we're live on the air, and go. And maybe there's been an update or two, because I know that who scored isn't always 100% accurate. But I'm looking at this now. Spurs have out Sessegnon, Perisic, Solomon, Van der Ven, Richarlison, Maddison, Bentancur, Romero. Their main two centre-backs are out. It says here that Papa Sarr is doubtful. I don't know whether that's been confirmed. With all those players out, their starting lineup is going to consist. Their back line is going to be Udogie, Davis and Royale as centre-backs, who are full-backs, and Porro. Basuma's back in, which is good. Lo Celso in the middle. They're going to have Brian Hill on the left.
Baby. Let's go.
Brian Hill on the left and Johnson on the right. You really think this is a team that is going to create the chances? Because there's no way they're getting a clean sheet. They've got to score 2 or 3 goals. How are they scoring 2 or 3 goals at the Etihad and not shipping more? I don't know, mate. I can't see it.
Son Heung-min. That's how. Son usually does well away at the Etihad. Bro, we've seen them. They're City's bogey team. What do you want me? They are City's bogey team. It's just how it goes. For God knows what reason, City don't play well against Spurs. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they see the white kit and they think they're Real Madrid or something. I don't know what the fuck the reason is. But I just think, look, Spurs are capable of scoring goals and City have been shipping goals. All I'm saying is just be clinical. Now, if they get, let me put it to you this way. If Spurs start the game really well and the first 10, 15 minutes, they get 2, 3 chances, don't score any of them, they're going to get destroyed. 100%. But if they go out there and they score two goals, let's say, something like that, then they have a chance. They have a chance. 100% they have a chance. It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
No,
and you see Kate in the chat calling me shameless. So when I say your club is fucking shit and you're going to lose, you say I'm shameless. And when I say you're going to get a draw away at the toughest stadium in the league, I'm shameless. So I can't win. So what do you want me to say then?
You are shameless. You are shameless when you say. Let's go to some of these super chats here. This one says, oh, these are not really about this game, to be fair. So we're kind of going backwards a little bit. We'll come back to them in a minute. We'll come back to them in a little bit because I want to kind of keep on this subject for a little while. She's back again here. I think what emoji is that? Oh, waffles. I didn't know what that was for a
Kate
second.
is so salty, man. Hold that, Kate. Hold that. Hold that.
I'm surprised how none of Arsenal fans are agreeing with Lusam. They too need Spurs to do them a favour.
Fact.
I mean,
we're all come on you Spurs this Sunday.
Everyone's going to want everyone in the title race will want Spurs to get something from this game, of course. Because
you know why
City
we all want Spurs to get something? Because City are guilty. That's why. Deep down, we all know it, so we support everyone against them anyway, so they can hold that.
This Spurs loving you're worse than flawless is what Anton's got to say here.
I listen. It's just for 2 days, you know. After Sunday, I'll go back to saying fuck Ainge and Spurs are overrated and Spurs are crap, and then Kate will call me shameless anyway. But yeah, I think. Listen, it's if Son is clinical, it's a possibility. The thing is, teams always get chances against Manchester City. Fucking Forest got chances away at Manchester City. Nottingham Forest got chances away at Manchester City. The problem is they don't take said chances. So if Son misses the opportunities, if Son misses the chances, if their team don't score, then yes, they are going to get destroyed. But if they score and they take their chances, then they have a chance. Simple as. So, did any of you think Luton were going to draw with Liverpool? Did any of you think Leipzig were going to be 2-0 up? Did any of you think Cervena Zvezda were going to be 1-0 up against City at home in the Champions League? Things happen in football. That's why I'm giving logical reasoning. All I'm saying is when they do create that chance, even Terry just said they've scored in every single game. Spurs have scored in every single game. So when they do get that chance, if they are clinical and they take their opportunity, then no one's going to say anything. Then they have a chance. Simple.
We will see what's going to happen in that. This here says,
Unless I think he means.
Unless there we go. Unless they show City a little bit of respect like Arsenal did, City will be pumped. I agree. I can't see this.
The Arsenal approach is the total opposite approach, by the way. There's 2 approaches to beat Manchester City. The Liverpool approach and the Arsenal approach. The Arsenal approach is be 100% more reserved, you know, essentially. Not park the bus. Arsenal didn't park the bus, but Arsenal were reserved. And then when you get that chance, take it. Martinelli, prime example. The Liverpool way, which I think Postecoglou is going to attempt, which is essentially press the fuck out of Manchester City. If you press the fuck out of Manchester City, you win the ball in a dangerous position. You know, maybe Rodri decides to choke someone. You know, you never know what happens. Maybe Rodri chokes Bissouma this time. Bissouma's a very good diver. So, you know, he might go down on the floor, red card right there. Anything can happen in a game of football. And I don't think it's impossible. I genuinely do not think it's impossible for Spurs to get something. That's just my honest opinion. And if they are reserved, and if they do take the more park the bus approach, they're going to get pumped even worse for me. So,
yeah. And I do understand that.